This is Dylan Kane from Arizona State University reporting for the Varsity Sports Show. I'm here with TJ Furco, the coach of Buckeye Union High School. Coach, you guys have been playing well as of late. You've won 4 of your last 5 matches. What's it going to take to keep that hot streak going tonight?
The biggest thing is just keeping the ball in bounds, especially on the serving line. Some of our losses, we haven't done a very good job of that. So especially serving tonight, we're going to focus on taking care of the ball. And just while we're in transition, just putting the ball in good spots.
The playoffs are coming up, end of the season's approaching. What's your message to your team as these games start to get more important?
Beat everybody. We have to. So as long as we get the job done, we'll be in good shape.
Awesome. Thank you, Coach. Good luck tonight. This is Dylan Kane from Arizona State University reporting for the Varsity Sports Show. I'm here with Coach Collette of Glendale High School. Coach, end of the season's coming up. What can you say about the growth of your team as from the start of the season to now?
So we have a lot of babies on our team. It's sophomores and freshmen, so just watching them overcome the adversity of playing on a varsity team and watching them serve and pass has been really good.
And what are some things you guys have been working on in practice that we might be keeping an eye out here for tonight?
So they run some weird hits. So they do what they call flash, where it's like running behind a setter and hitting like a really quick ball. They're working on back row attacks and kind of just the cohesiveness as a team.
Awesome. Thank you, Coach.
Thanks.
Good luck tonight.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Buckeye, Arizona. We are currently at Buckeye Union High School for a good boys varsity volleyball match against the Glendale Cardinals. I'm Nia Jackson alongside Matt Ross. Matt Ross, what are you expecting to see today?
Well, to be honest, I'm probably thinking it's going to be a little bit of a beatdown. I think Buckeye has been on a great tear recently, winning the last 4 of 5 games, and Glendale has had a less than satisfactory season so far. Just looking at the height disparity between the two teams, I think Buckeye has a significant advantage. What about you? What do you think's going on in this game?
Yeah, like you mentioned, Glendale, their season's not going to the best of that they can be. You know, coming in 2-12 overall, they're on a 9-game losing streak. And Buckeye, they have won 1 game, last game, which was against Fairfax. And like you said, height advantage is a big disparity here for this Glendale team.
Yeah, I also think that TJ Furco, the head coach for Buckeye, has been doing an amazing job with these guys so far this year, you know, really taking them to the next level. Definitely be looking out for Ramirez this game. Elias Ramirez, he has been doing it all for this team all year, averaging the most blocks and kills so far. So definitely be looking for a big game out of him.
Yeah, for sure. So Glendale has ball to start the serve. Number 8. Fabian Navarte. Quick jump serve. Service error. Point to Buckeye. It's not a good way you want to start the game off with a service error.
No, definitely not a confidence booster.
We have free ball. Set it up. Number 11. Just a tip by number 12, Andrew Fisher.
And that tip's going to go out of bounds. Slow start for both teams, it looks like.
Yeah.
Not a ton of energy, which we're used to seeing from just volleyball in general.
Chris White, another jump serve. Received by number 2, Carson Skinner. Out of bounds by number 14, Elias Ramirez. Kind of jumped a little late with his approach.
Jumped late, caught the ball low on his wrist. A little bit of a waffle there.
Tip ball. Elias Ramirez once again. Another tip ball. That was out of bounds. Touched.
And it looks like the up ref overruled his line ref's call on that touch, giving the point to Glendale.
Yeah, so back out of bounds. Back to number 5, Christopher White. Like you mentioned, slow start here.
Yeah, for both teams, it's definitely. Oh, here's the energy from Glendale.
Now
As
that
he-
was out of bounds.
as he rockets a serve out. But for Buckeye, I think it's definitely just going to come down to limiting their own errors.
Yeah.
You know, if they can keep the ball in the court, I don't think Glendale will be able to hang at that high of a level. But, you know, they got to limit their mistakes right now. And
Number
there's
11.
another missed serve.
Mark Vera. You know what I'm seeing from this Buckeye team is not a lot of communication. They're very quiet on the team compared to Glendale. They've been kind of talking the entire match.
I agree. I think that whole side of the court is just a lot louder, including the bench.
Standing serve, number 6, Murtaza Momand. Number 2 for Buckeye.
I think a lot of it stems too from, you know, number 11 for Buckeye, Mark Vera, just not letting his players totally hit right now. Some of these sets just coming off a little bit tight. As you see a great set there and a
Dig.
good swing.
By Murtaza Momand once again. Number 11 setting it out to number 2, Carson Skinner. Just a touch outside.
Yeah, and like I was mentioning, Vera was setting his hitters just a little bit too tight. You saw in that last
Yeah.
point, 2 balls off the net, letting his hitters be able to take a rip at it, and they come away with the point.
Number 14, Elias Ramirez serving. Little jump float. Dug by number 5, Christopher White. Kind of looked like a net violation to me, but tipped over.
Yeah, it was just smart play by number 12.
Be Glendale ball, number 12 serving. Marco Herbert, standing float. Service error. Not a lot of power on that serve. Kind of just like threw it up and hit it over. But now we have lip serving for Buckeye. Eric Rivera. Ooh,
High set.
that was a tool.
Number 1 jumps out of the gym to get up to that ball.
Yeah, very high. Number 1, Simon Senahai. Sorry if I mispronounced that. He has 12 aces for the season.
On a top spin serve.
Ooh, nice. Number 11, 8. 4 touches.
And like we mentioned before, those just come down to unforced errors. You know, they're just not giving themselves the chance to win by putting the ball in the court, continuing to play out the point here.
Yeah, for sure. Once again, Simon Sunahi serving. I was out of bounds this time. Point to Buckeye.
Glendale as well, making quite a bit of service errors. I think that's their 4th missed serve, and you know the Buckeyes only have 5 points here.
Number 2, Carson Skinner. Sets out. Point to Buckeye. As number 5, Christopher White.
The ball's going to go off the tape and not the block, giving the
Out of
point to the
bounds.
Hawks.
Number 2, Carson Skinner. In that nice zone 6 spot. Number 12, Marco Herbert, just take a step up. He would have got that. He'd be able to receive the ball. Carson Skinner with another jump float. Dug up by Marco Herbert. A little bit of trouble on Glendale's side.
There's that height difference that we were talking about, as that middle was able to hit over the top of that fully extended block of Glendale.
Number 2, Carson Skinner, once again, another jump float. Nice, unfortunate service error made once again. Service errors is kind of the common thing as we start things off, as scores 8-9. Cardinals. Number 3, Son Lee for Glendale. Out of bounds.
And you're definitely right. I think whoever's going to put the ball in play is probably going to win this game here, as it's all tied up. Both teams have, I think it's 5 service errors apiece.
Jump float. Kind of an easy ball. Number 8 setting it out to Christopher White. He free balls it over. Dug up. Mark Rivera with
He's OT again, just hitting over the top of these blocks. Height difference plays a big part in this kind of game.
a very big difference. Rigdon Hunter. Easy jump float. Dug up. Number 6 free balls it. And 12 tips it over. It's an easy touch. but unfortunately, Glendale could not get to that.
That was great communication by Buckeye. Lib recognizing that his setter was taken out of transition after passing that first ball and setting the out-of-system play.
Yeah, well, if your server gets that first ball, then kind of sucks that the libero, but as long as he was able to communicate and got it to his hitter, they were able to convert. Number 8, Fabian Navarrete, serving another out of bounds.
Back-to-back missed serves by both teams.
I think as a coach, you want to tell your players like just to calm on the serves, just kind of keep the ball in play and bounce.
Yeah,
Number 13.
definitely just focusing on making sure you make your first serve at least.
Yeah. True Joseph Lambert as he gets right by the outline, in bounds.
Yeah, that float serve dropping right on that back line and painting it almost. It's a great serve.
As a line judge, you want to call that very closely because that could be either in or out. Another jump float. That was out of bounds this time. Yeah, service errors are very common upon both these teams. Back to number 5, Christopher White serving. Easy jump float. Dug up by number 2, Carson Skinner, 14. Kills
There's
the ball.
Ramirez again. That's their go-to player right there, and he's showing why. I mean, he's significantly taller than all these kids and hitting over the block.
Standing at 6'3", junior. That's such an advantage you want to have. 8 setting it out to number 1, Simon Sinahi. That was out of bounds this time.
Yeah, number 1 just rushing the set just a little bit there. Definitely have out-of-system play.
Yeah, if he took a slower approach, he would have been able to maybe keep the ball in play. Number 11, Mark Rivera, dug up by number 14, Jesse Molina.
It's a great pass, and they opt for the back row attack, and it is going out.
Mark Vera once again serving. Easy float.
That's a great short float serve.
It's good when you want to switch those things up, have jump float, kind of short ball, instead of just always going into the deep corners.
For sure. Making him move up in that seam, back and forth, and now he puts him deep.
Tipped up, number 1. The ball in play. Number 11 serving it out to 14.
A little bit of a waffle hit there from Ramirez.
Tipped down by number 2, Carson Skinner.
Yeah, we're starting to see Buckeye pull away here now as they're just not making any more mistakes. You know, not handing any more points. They're able to go on these long runs.
Number 11 serving it out.
And there's a block by Ramirez. A little bit of a trap set with how big Ramirez's block is. You know, you just can't put that ball tight if you're Glendale.
Yeah. Jump float. Dug up by number 14. That block right straight into the donut. Kind of not where you would want to be outside of that donut. I think that's kind of either the outside hitter's ball, or if the middle is not going to pull off and block, they'll come back and receive that. Number 8, tipping it. 1 just tips back over. 14.
Good recycle there.
4 touches from Glendale.
A questionable call here.
Yeah, I didn't think
The
there
ball
was
was
4 touches.
definitely off the block as a recycle. But either way, Buckeye showing discipline on their block, not reaching for all that much, not getting tooled. There's a quick scramble.
Yeah, out of service there. And that will be touched by number 14, Jesse Molina, as he couldn't get it up.
Yeah, I think TJ Furco had a quick talk with his guys, just telling them, stay disciplined and put the ball in the court. You know, they know they have all the athletic talent in the world, but if they keep handing them points like they were for the first 10, it's going to be an uphill battle.
As that ball goes out of bounds by Mark Vera.
Vera with his, I think that was a 9 or 10 point serving run, you know, being able to just put pressure on this defense.
And being able to serve the different zones and seams is very important. You know, just don't want to keep serving that one guy
Yeah.
because then he'll adjust. But if you switch it up, then it'll keep Glendale out of system. Number 6, Murtaza Momand. Standing float. Number 2, Carson Skinner.
A roll shot out. I think he just got a little bit too much time to think about that ball in air.
Yeah, he was a little too late on his approach. Murtaza Momand. Serve. Short.
That serve goes underneath the net. It's a 10-point lead here for Buckeye now. 2 points to close out this first set.
Number 14, Elias Ramirez. Jump float. Out of system a little bit. Number 5, roll shots it over. Christopher White. As a back set from Mark Vera. As they free ball it out of bounds.
Number 8 being in the right spot for Glendale to dig that ball. Just comes in a little high on him.
Set point for Buckeye. 8 as he kind of falls, setter falls. Kicks it back out to the outsider. And Buckeye will take the first set here, 25-13.
Yeah, I think it's just all came down to Buckeye's block. You know, they started being disciplined, not getting tooled, and just keeping the ball in play. And they racked up around 6-7 blocks on that first set, as well as a few jousts where, you know, their guys are significantly bigger. They're going to come out with the win on that.
Yeah, I think in the beginning they were playing to Glendale's game, but then they realized, you know, like, we're a much better team than this. Like, let's actually play like the team that we are. And they did that, eventually came out on top.
For sure. Playing down to their level is common, men's volleyball to say the least, but, you know, we saw them pull away. Vera's serving run was instrumental in that, you know, taking them out of system on almost every point. And hitters like Skinner as well, just keeping the ball in play, knowing when his team's out of system and just needing to put the ball in play to continue the rally.
Yeah, when you're going against a team like this that is, you know, not necessarily up to par with your guys' level, you just kind of want to keep the ball in play. You don't want to show out too much.
For just not hand points over.
Yeah.
And I think that was the biggest difference. I mean, it was 10-10 at one point, and I think 8 of those points for Glendale was a Hawks mistake or a Hawks unforced error. And that plays a huge role. You know, you stop making errors, you see that pull away where now they were all of a sudden up 10. If you're the Glendale head coach, what are you telling your team, though?
I think if I'm the Glendale head coach, I'm telling them just to play volleyball, but, like, be mindful and make conscious decisions, you know. And also communicate. There's not really a lot of communication if there's a double block up or who's getting the tip out of the donut. I think just being more communicative is important for the Glendale team.
No, I definitely agree. I think it's being smarter on offense as well. You know, you don't need to have a big swing to get a kill. I think a little bit more tipping and taking the setter maybe out, or somewhere along the lines of maybe even throwing it off the block to make it go out of bounds. I think they just need to play a little bit smarter as this block is so big. You know, I don't think they're going to get through very often with just trying to hit the ball as hard as they can, as well as just making serves. You know, they make serves that this game looks different, you know.
Yeah. As we get ready for set 2, it'll be Buckeye serving.
No major lineup changes, I don't think, for Buckeye. I think 13 is new to the game. However,
Maybe
Drew Joseph Lambrecht.
Deflon Ribeiro, then Eric Rivera this time. So as you mentioned, the setter, Mark Vera, went on a 9-game serving streak. As he starts off this set, could put easily another 9 points up in the first period.
Yeah, definitely want to start with one of your best servers here. Get your team out to a nice start to start the second set. Build off of a lead for sure. They have all the momentum coming into the second set.
Mark Vera, jump float. Received by back set, number 5, Christopher
There's
White.
tip, pass over the net.
Like you mentioned, getting that tip's kind of taking the setter out. They had that tip right
Yep.
into the setter spot.
That was 2 strategic tips. You know, first one, they get an overpass. Second one goes down. I think it's just being a little bit smarter on offense. You know, you don't need the big kill.
Christopher White jump float, number 5. Dug up by number 2. Sets it over. Number 6, Murtaza Moman. Kind of an intensive rally here a little bit as Elias Ramirez hits the ball out of bounds, giving another point to Glendale.
Glendale coming alive a little bit, getting cheers from their bench.
Actually, it'll be Buckeye ball. Buckeye ball as Elias Ramirez goes to serve.
See. As now Glendale looks very out of rotation.
Yeah,
And it was not called.
quick jump float from Elias Ramirez. Number 1 with the back row attack as it goes out of bounds. Simon Sinahi.
Very confused now what row Glendale is even in, as they have their server now playing front row again.
Yeah. Another serve from Elias Ramirez as he aces that. Left that ball untouched. They're communicating with their coach as they don't seem they know what they're doing.
Yeah, looking
Jump
for
float.
answers here. Oh, and Ramirez catches a break as the
He didn't even call the
official did
whistle.
not blow the whistle to start the play as he missed the serve underneath the net.
Yeah, that would have been bad if the whistle was called. Whistle now called. Elias Ramirez. Easy jump float. Free ball over. Dug up by Elias Ramirez as he sets the back.
Oh, a questionable call.
Oh, very questionable call.
Glendale players looking like they got away with one a little bit. They smile at their bench, but that was a good swing and a great set by the Buckeye Hawks. As it looks like now, number 5 is going to be serving again. Jenkins White is serving. Yeah, as now they're checking.
I don't think he
Their
should have
head
served the first
coach.
time.
Jennifer Runger coming up to the stand to check the book and see if they're out of rotation. Excuse me, Jennifer Colette.
It's just Colette. I think it's just Colette. That's what she said her name was. It wasn't Jennifer. Because we have the libero serving, Jesse Molina. Quick correction.
Yeah, so Glendale was out of rotation their past couple serve receive points. It's
Jump
not
float.
called, however, in hindsight.
Tipped up Mark Vera. That was in by Rigdon Hunter.
Great swing to the back corner there.
That was a nice cross court. So we go to Levi Mayer. Libero.
Great block touch. Defense just not ready to pick it up.
We weren't ready to pick it up. Number 4, Aiden Jones. Standing float. Mark Vera serving. Nice attack from the middle. Number 13, Drew Joseph Lambrecht.
That was a great pass by Rivera. Service pass, setting up the offense with
Andrew Fisher, or Carson Skinner, excuse me, with the service error. So it doesn't go over the net. This
Yeah.
game's kind of close.
Hawks coming out slow for the start of another set here. Just quite a few missed serves, quite a few unforced errors.
Simon Sinahi,
Oh,
top
a
serve.
great pass.
As Rigdon Hunter puts that ball back down.
And that was a great serve by Glendale, just absolutely dimed by Ramirez.
Number 8, Rigdon Hunter. Jump float. Easy to the middle. Server sets it up. Number 5, roll shots. Oh, Mark Rivera kind of had a little bit of trouble getting to that ball, but being able to set it up for his outside, he's able to attack.
Yeah, and Ramirez is just on a different level right now, swinging basically over this block.
Mm-hmm. When you have a height advantage, you're able to swing over that block. Number 8.
A great block by Vera there.
As Glendale's team wasn't ready to transition off of the net. Rigdon Hunter, another jump float. As he serves the ball and puts Glendale out of system. Jump float. Received by number 14 as number 5
Free ball over on 2. Another big swing from Ramirez.
What a nice attack. Able to get right in that spot that's kind of in between front row and back row.
A hard angle. The block gives you down the funnel, and no one's ready to pick up a ball that fast from on Glendale's team.
Sets it out. As he sets it over. Mark Vera with a 1 ball.
And now we see the Hawks offense just percolating. You know, they know they have them on the back foot, taking them out of system on serve receive, getting a free ball the last 4 or 3 points, and just letting their top 2 hitters eat, basically.
Number 8, free balls.
Oh,
Short free ball.
and number 1 took a little bit of a dive trying to get that free ball over.
Yeah, that would hurt the knees. It's kind of an easy serve Rigdon Hunter's giving them, though. If they take a step and adjust. Tipped over, Christopher White. Mark Vera sets it out to outside. Elias Ramirez as he hits the ball out of bounds.
Yeah, not a super tough float serve, but when you found your target and there's a little bit of a weak spot there in the back row for Glendale, and he absolutely picked it apart. Score is now 12-5 in favor of the Hawks.
Number 3, Son Lee. Easy jump serve. Elias Ramirez tipped it. Sets it over. Sets it out. Elias Ramirez kind of late.
Almost seemed to be a miscommunication there on the last 2 sets from Vera and Ramirez. I think they're getting a little bit confident here, now trying to run a few different kind of plays for Ramirez. And I mean, it worked out with the point, but.
Drew Lambert to serve. Easy jump float. Dug up. It's 8. Back row attack that was out of bounds. Was
Yeah,
that-
questionable set there.
Yeah, not really sure if that was either outside or a ball. Another jump float as they overpass it over and puts their setter out of transition.
Oh, and another miscommunication in the back row there.
Yeah. As we have a sub. Number 4. Aiden Jones for number 12, Marco Herbert, as he goes into the front row. Nice dig by the libero.
Tight
Tips.
set.
Ooh,
Yeah.
nice.
That's just a trap set. A good block by Glendale, but, you know, when you have someone the size of Ramirez, you just have to put it high and off the net and let him go to work. I think Vera just getting a little bit too fancy here.
Right to the libero as we have a little bit of miscommunication from the back row. Overpass. Tipped by Andrew Fisher.
Yeah, Vera setting the D ball. Offense just not ready right now. If I'm Coach Furco, I'm telling my team just to stay simple.
Yeah.
You know, don't need to do anything crazy.
Back to Mark Vera serving. Jump float. Dug up by number 1, Simon Sinahi. Number 8. Standing attack as number 14. Attacks the ball and hits. Number 8, Fabian Navarrete, on his head.
Yeah, I mean, that not much you're going to be able to
Yeah.
do there if you're Glendale. I mean,
Yeah.
he hits over the block into another kid's face.
Mark Vera, short float. As they free ball it over. They don't really have much communication. You can see that. And they're a little bit frustrated or kind of confused on what's going on. As we have another sub. Anthony Ozuna for Murtaza Momon. Jump float. Service error. Christopher White serves. Jump float, short. Mark Vera. Nice attack by
Great swing.
number 2.
Painting the
Carson
back
Skinner.
line.
Elias Ramirez. Easy jump float serve.
Ooh, a dangerously
As-
tight set.
Yeah, very tight set.
That's going to put the Hawks up by 10 now once again. They called net as well on Glendale.
Jump serve. Short. Over pass over. Takes setter out of transition. Number 7, Tate Reinhardt. Nice attack by Carson Skinner there with the back set from Mark Vera. As we have a sub from Buckeye, number 8, Rigdon Hunter for number 7, Tate Reinhardt. Another jump float from Elias Ramirez. Not a lot of talking from Glendale, but
Good back row good back row attack play ran up by the Hawks, but can't convert it.
yeah, when you're coming from the back row, you want to be kind of mindful. Since you're in the back row, you don't want to go hit the ball too hard, as it can go out of bounds. Number 17, Anthony Ozuna, standing float. Dug up by Eric Rivera. As number 8, Rigdon Hunter, smacks that ball down. Doesn't even give Glendale an opportunity to receive the ball.
And that was basically a field goal going through the arms of the block of Glendale.
Number 5, Eric Rivera. Libero. As he serves that. to
Service ace. Scores 22-9. Buckeye looking to close out right here. End the second set on another strong note.
Very quick game. As we have a service error from Eric Rivera.
Glendale, despite the score, is still definitely more energetic and has more energy on the bench, especially.
Number 4, Aiden Jones. Yeah, like you said, they're still playing. As that ball goes out of bounds by Carson Skinner. They're still playing with energy, although they're down 11. They're not giving up. They're not just letting these balls kind of just take over.
Yeah, they're definitely having fun, too, on the court.
Number 4, Aiden Jones, standing float. So it goes in the back row. And Rigdon Hunter attacks and is able to kill the ball. Number 2, Carson Skinner to serve. Jump float. As
A whistle was blown.
Glendale is out of rotation, it seems.
No matter what point for the Hawks here, 24-11
Match point?
game point.
Game point, okay. Game point. So it's dug
Excuse
up.
me, set point it
Yeah,
should be.
set point,
I guess
okay.
I don't call it game. A
Pancake.
pancake, it goes up. Can't convert. A great up though.
It's not what you want to do on set point. Simon Sinahi to serve for Glendale. Topspin as it sails out of bounds.
It's going to close out the second set here. Buckeyes up 2-0, looking to close out in the third. In the meantime, we're going to send it to some commercials before we come back.
Hey guys, Vince here to talk about Angel Dentistry. It's where my wife and I have gone for over 10 years, and we trust them with our routine and extensive dental care because they care. Dr. Amber Angel is an Arizona native, born in the town of Miami, and has been practicing in the Valley over 20 years. For general to comprehensive dental services, call 602-788-2008. Located off of Cave Creek Road just north of the 101 in North Phoenix. Angel Dentistry, proud supporters of our young people and proud partners of the Varsity Sports Show. In 2019, the JV Sports Show podcast began with the idea of spotlighting young people in our community. In time, that podcast evolved into radio, television, and live stream, and through that evolution, new ideas have enhanced delivery, giving a stage to students both in front of and behind the microphone in Arizona and beyond. Thank you for supporting the Varsity Sports Show, now the Varsity Media Foundation, a 501c3 educational organization. The Angry Crab Shack in Tempe, with an experience so good it remains indescribable, with something for every seafood lover. Try one of their amazing custom seafood boils, sandwiches, appetizers, and salads. Angry Crab Shack Tempe is located east of I-10 on Warner Road, 480-674-3847. The Angry Crab Shack in Tempe. Come ready to eat.
Sports isn't just about highlights. It's about the grind, the passion, and the journey behind every play. I'm Chrissy Harrison, a junior at Texas Southern University, and I don't just watch sports. I bring their stories to life. From rising athletes to seasoned pros, I'm there asking the real questions, capturing the raw moments, and sharing the journey with you, on the field and behind the scenes. I bring excitement to Varsity Sports Show. This is just the beginning. Stay locked in. We're just getting started.
Hi everyone, as we're back in Buckeye, Arizona. Back for the third set here between the Buckeye Hawks and the Glendale Cardinals.
So it looks like head coach for the Hawks, TJ Furco, is not letting his foot off the gas, keeping the starting lineup in for this third set, wanting to take it down now. Glendale a little bit in shambles here as they've lost the last two sets by, I think it was 10, and then now by 13 points. So it should be a little bit of a clean sweep here for the Buckeyes, for the Buckeye Hawks. We'll see. Glendale going to start off this set with the serve.
As you mentioned, Glendale having the ball to serve. Going to have Fabian Navarrete. Top spin.
Wow. That was actually a great hybrid serve. Throwing the ball up like he's going to topspin serve and ended up floating it. I don't know if it was on purpose, but ends up with the ace.
Yeah, that put Buckeye out of system there. Another top spin. That was out of bounds.
So it confirms that the original hybrid serve was definitely not on purpose, but regardless, still a great serve.
Number 13, Drew Lambrick. Jump float. It's dug up by number 1, Simon Sunihis. That's out. As there was a net violation.
White gets up and actually OTs the block, hits directly over for the kill, but was in the net, so it's going to be point for the Hawks.
Number 13 serving once again. 8 as he goes to the back row. And Simon Sunihi isn't able to get it over, just a little late on his approach.
And the back row attack strategy not doing wonders for Glendale this game so far.
Jump float. Sets it to outside as he's a little early with his approach.
Yeah, complete miscommunication there. Thinking that his setter was going to run him faster and ends up being super early.
Super early. Jump float once again. Dug up by number 12, Marco Herbert. Free balls it over.
Another miscommunication there.
Mark Vera goes to his outside. Elias Ramirez. Dug up by number 14. A little bit of out of system, but free balls it back over. Number 12 is able to end the play and put it right in that block, but
And Glendale's own number 12 blocker was in the right spot, just not pressed over the net on that block, letting it waterfall directly down in front of him.
jump float. That was inbounds, an ace. Bit of a miscommunication from Glendale.
Buckeyes jump out to a quick 6-1 lead.
Jump float. Received. As back set goes to Marco Herbert. 1 ball. Right in the donut.
Yeah, just a smart play by 12 there. Knowing he doesn't need to swing hard to earn that point. Just throws it straight down in the middle of all the defenders.
Yeah, and you wouldn't be able to switch it up and be able to either swing really hard or be able to tip the ball, roll shot it.
Oh, a lefty attack from him.
Free balls. Outside. As he's a little early.
Miscommunication. The setter trying to set an A ball to his middle playing back row.
Tipped.
Just not ready for it. There's the A ball there. Set out of system though.
Back set. A little bit of a rally we have going this set.
Oh, and there's the big, great swing to the back corner. Great set, great speed on that ball. Number 8 being up and ready to kill that Hunter.
Jump float. As we have a service error, as it doesn't go over the net.
That run, though, is going to give them a nice early lead in this third set, 8-2.
Number 4, Aiden Jones for Glendale. Standing float. As servers.
That was a great get by Vera as well. Dealing with that shaky pass, pulling it out from the net.
Yeah, that was very close.
Being able to keep it in play. So now he goes back to serve.
Mark Vera, jump float. As it puts Glendale out of system.
Service ace on the libero.
So we have a sub. Number 5, Christopher White. Jump float Roll shots out of bounds.
Actually punches that ball out. Yeah, Glendale just struggling to pass anything on serve receive right now, letting their offense get into a groove. There's a pass there.
Out of bounds.
And that monster block almost pulled that ball in still. I think one recognized where that block was and tried to swing around it, but there wasn't much court to swing at.
Glendale just needs to side out here with the serve as Mark Vera serves it out of bounds. And they get their side out. Number 14, Jesse Molina to serve. Jump float. Mark Vera back sets it to Carson's.
A little shot there.
As he sets it to Carson Skinner.
Actually a good touch by Glendale there.
Yeah, if they just would have had that double touch, they would have been able to keep that ball in play.
Timeout called by Glendale. Wanting to just regroup a little bit as the Buckeyes have already jumped out to a 10-point lead. Yeah, I don't know if you know, I'm the coach for Glendale here. I don't have many answers for my team. I think just up around the net, it's just a little bit of an unfair game. Obviously, I would want my team to be making a little bit more serves here, just not giving up so many points, especially on offense. But when you're facing a team like the Hawks, it's tough.
I think they just need to be more communicative when it comes to Buckeye attacking the ball. I think they're kind of getting lost in who needs to take what and what their role is. And that's leaving a lot of open balls like in the donut spot or in the deep corner.
I agree. I would also say if, you know, I'm the Glendale coach, I'm telling them we got to pass first. You know, everyone has to be ready to play defense first. Otherwise, these points won't be able to continue.
As we come back from our timeout here, that was called by Glendale. Buckeye to serve, Elias Ramirez.
13-3 here in the third set.
Jump float.
Just another good serve, making the serve receive passers move just a little bit too much, getting uncomfortable, and ends up with another service ace.
Another jump float here. As he puts it right to the net. Setter not able to get to that ball in time.
2 in a row coming out of the timeout. Definitely a morale hit for Glendale. Make that 3 in a row.
As that was out of the antenna.
The Hawks now just running away with this game. 16-3.
Jump float.
Oh, great dig by Vera there, and it comes away with the kill. An overpass dig hits the donut.
Another jump float. As
A 4th service ace for Ramirez.
Christopher White kind of backs away from that ball as he just doesn't know, but he's been serving. Elias Ramirez has been serving him the last 4 points.
Yeah, like you mentioned as well, it's just quite a bit of miscommunication back there, not knowing who should pass which ball. There's a pass there.
Tip. So we have Rigdon Hunter.
Good out-of-system swing, high hands. A tight set, wow.
Glendale able to come away with that point here.
A little bit of luck involved there, but they do come away with it as one uses his athleticism to get up top and poke that ball right back over. Now Buckeye making subs here.
Number 12, Marco Herbert to serve. Jump float. Dug up by Eric Rivera. Back row attack.
into that back corner. It's got to feel good to come off the bench and first swing get a kill.
That was from number 4, Riley Cooper. Eric Rivera. Sutter just kind of smacks that ball up. Another attack.
Yeah, the right call by the ref there as he hit into the tape and not the block, making it 4 touches on the Hawks.
Simon Sinahi to serve. Topspin as a service error.
Hawks now up 15, 20-5, looking to close this game out with one more service run.
Number 4, Riley Cooper, serve, another top
A lefty
spin.
topspin. And over on 2.
And out of bounds.
Questionable decision make, but it's going to put them up by 16 here.
Another topspin. Just out of bounds, sails out of bounds from the lefty. Number 3, Son Lee for Glendale. As we're going to have another top spin.
Oh, Lord.
That was dropped. A replay.
A questionable replay call is once the ball is tossed, they have to play it. And another one.
Oh. So as Glendale's coach telling the ref that he doesn't speak English, and there is
to,
the service error.
Serve underneath the net.
That was interesting what just happened here.
I've been around this sport a long time. I've never seen something quite like that.
Yeah, me as well. Number 7, Tate Reinhardt.
Gotta feel good for Reinhardt there. Coming off the bench, giving his team a big ace. 23-6 here as he tries to close out this game.
Easy jump float here. Number 8, free balls it.
Oh,
That was the
a good
back throw.
swing, just a little bit out there for number 1.
We have match point here for Buckeye, as we have Tate Reinhardt, number 7, goes to jump float. And that is not what you want to do on a match point, is have a service error. You don't want to miss serves when it's match point. Number 8, Fabian Navarrete. Top spin. Overpass.
A little bit lucky there for the Hawks as their oppo actually passed that.
Out of bounds by number 6, Levi Mayer. Not being able to close out on a match point. It's kind of crucial. Another top spin. That is out of bounds.
That's going to do it for the match here as the Buckeye Hawks sweep Glendale in 3 by a pretty big margin each set. Thank you guys so much for tuning into Varsity Sports. Make sure you're following us on X, Instagram, and on YouTube to never miss out on high school sports in the Arizona area. I've been Matthew Ross.
And I'm Nia Jackson.
Thank you guys for watching.